This and all episodes of the podcast have been brought to you by our generous patrons over at Patreon, the DayZ podcast. If you're interested in finding out more about how you can support the show each week, then please click the link in the description down below to find out more information about Patreon, the DayZ podcast. Thank you for your support. Want to help support the DayZ podcast? Have you ever thought of having your own server, be it for DayZ or any other game? Well, Streamline Servers is now sponsoring the DayZ podcast. Yes, folks, if you want to help support the DayZ podcast, you can simply sign up using the link in the description down below and grab a server from this awesome server provider. I use them myself for my 2 servers here in Australia, and I have not had any issues with them. They're fast, they're prompt. The servers, they seem to be good value for me. And there's a lot more that you can do, whether it be a dedicated server, TeamSpeak servers, if that's still your thing, Minecraft servers, game servers, and they have servers all over the world. Network locations, they're based in Oceania and Asia, in Europe and North America and Canada. Folks, I have been very, very happy. I was using them as my server provider before I signed up to this agreement with them, as an affiliate with them. They offer DDoS protection, fast support, public network status and other features. And like I mentioned before, their servers seem to be quite reasonably priced. DayZ's all the way down here from $40.50 per month. And that's Aussie dollars as well, folks. Official servers hosted by Streamline Servers, rent or buy. It works fine for me, folks. If you want to do something to help support the DayZ podcast, then simply click on the link down below and find out more about Streamline Servers and what they can do for you and the community that you want to create. No, we are going to talk to our man in the middle of the screen here, MrUtah. How you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you, man?
Really, really good. The trailer, mate, that looked... I forgot it was a trailer. As I was watching it, it was like, what the fuck? Why is it jumping around and skipping all over the place? But, mate, you've got a talent. You've got a talent for this.
Thank you. No, it's been really fun. As you know, on the first one, you asked which country it was in, and you automatically knew it was in Australia because of...
The bush.
It's just so obvious. But basically, we had to find a pine forest close to Sydney because the team's a small group of friends, basically, that are just helping me make the films. And I didn't want to have to travel too far. I had to kind of be a one-day shoot to start with, which is the Prologue, if you remember that one.
Yep.
And we went down to Penrose State Forest. It's pretty big, and we were really surprised at how it looked, and it kind of just fit the profile. It's not as spaced as a kind of Chinaris or Czech Republic or Polish pine forest, but it had to do, basically. That's the background of where we started.
I'm just sharing the video in chat again for those who missed it, but the trailer for the second part is now live on YouTube, folks. He did it as a premiere, and it looks damn good.
Where's the link to that, Morty?
Good. I just put it into the Twitch chat, but I'll send it to you as well, Lax. So what made you pick DayZ, MrUtah?
Well, I've been kind of shooting and making films for like 10 years now.
Yep.
So I went to uni and did all that stuff, went to film school. Then started doing some freelancing stuff afterwards, got into real estate, then commercials, and got into VR as well. We were doing a pretty cool VR experience. It fell through because we actually had to find about $300,000 worth of funding, but it just it fell through because VR, if you guys remember, VR went up and then it fell down very, very quickly. And we kind of we were on the downside. So in between all of that, I actually made a Counter-Strike Go video. And on my channel, I think it's got like 65,000 views or something like that. I did that down in an abandoned brewery in Mittagong, just south of Sydney. And that was really, really fun. And I always thought it would be really cool to take professional filmmaking. And at that point, I was nowhere near a professional. I was pretty bad at making films, actually. But I wanted to make films based on games, but I didn't want to just be a fan who was making the films. I wanted to be someone who actually knew how to make a film.
Yeah.
And because games all well and good to play and they're fun, but if you can bring that into a script and a story, then it's just so much more exciting when you combine the both.
I love the fact you're using sound effects from DayZ as well. It's some of the comments I've read on the videos is people loving the fact that, it's the sound effect of a Mosin firing and things like that. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, I was lucky to come across a set of files that had every weapon in DayZ from 100 meters to 400 meters away.
Yep.
Shot.
So black code.
Was that you?
No, sorry. Keep going.
No. Yeah, so I found those files and that really helped. But to answer your question, why DayZ? Just because DayZ is probably the closest game to real life if you were to put yourself in a zombie apocalypse, because it's based off Arma 2, right? Which is a military simulator, give or take. And you've got real weapons, you've got real NATO stuff, you've got real situations. If there was a zombie apocalypse, a can of beans is going to be a big deal. So, handcuffing someone and executing them for their shit, it's going to be pretty standard. So I figured in terms of filmmaking skills and just making a cinematic experience, it's endless. You could just go on and on and on. So that's basically why I chose it. I thought it was a really cool, ominous kind of horror feeling.
Yeah.
And that's just started, and that's where we are now.
You definitely have captured the feel of DayZ in those videos. Although I must say, if I'd been that guy, even with a damaged leg, I wouldn't have been fucking doing a splint in the middle of a bandit camp. I would have been fucking out.
Yeah, I know. I saw some of the comments there, and it's my way of explaining it is you can always watch a movie and go, "See, I wouldn't do that. Why would you do that? Why would you open that door?" Like in a horror movie, someone walks through that door.
Why are you going to the basement?
Why are you going through that door?
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't be watching it if you didn't.
Yeah.
So, that's exactly right. It's not. There's definitely some. I think some of the comments were pretty funny. They were saying, if he's going to take that long to loot that bag, he's fucked anyway, or something like that. So, which is true because you get your head blown off pretty quickly.
Bag, you gotta be.
Yeah, exactly. Q&E.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we've got it's been received very well, which is cool.
You've had some big name people in the DayZ community comment on it. Like I'm looking at the video now. The Running Man's watched it. Hope Wreckers watched it. The DayZ podcast, that really awesome show that everyone should be watching, has watched it. But yeah, there's some really, really good. How many views have we got on? 7,180 views on the first one. So it was a bit of a sleeper, wasn't it?
Yeah, it got shared by DayZ on Facebook and on Twitter.
Yep.
And then I think I posted it on Reddit and people loved it. So it was. I've just joined this DayZ standalone community, or I've asked to join it, and I'll share the latest teaser on there so that people get it, because it's about people seeing it. There's many people who are not on Twitter. There's many people who are not on Facebook and that kind of stuff. So
just be careful with DayZ Reddit. You'll post it in there, and those guys will pick it apart like fucking crazy.
It's fun. It's really funny you say that, because there was, when I first posted a few things on Reddit, there was a few people. I'm not really into Reddit. Funny fact about those guys that were in the Discord before, No More Reveler, that's actually my brother.
There you go.
So yeah, he was he's a big Reddit guy, and I think it was his idea, post on Reddit and see what they think. And you're totally right. They said some. One of the comments was like, "There's no black people in Russia," and I was like, "Yes, there is.
Yes, there is."
And then,
oh my God.
And then I know it was, and then a few people got on this guy's case and was like, "You're a fucking idiot," basically. But yeah, to answer your question, that's exactly what happened. However, it was overwhelmingly positive. So I got 200 up likes or something, and people were like, "This is awesome." So all the very few people who didn't like it and whatever, man.
Yeah, never listen to those guys, mate. You can't win.
You can't, exactly. I mean, you guys are streamers.
You'll never win. Yeah, you never win, dude. If you're trying to make everybody happy, you'll lose your fucking head. You'll lose your mind.
You guys are know best.
I think it's wonderful what you're doing, man, that you're making the DayZ a video, man. I think it should be just like... To actually have a movie of DayZ is fucking insane, dude. And
it's not the first one, Lax. There's been other short films before.
Oh, there's
is there really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I got no idea with that, but...
Heaps, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I think on YouTube, you've got some with like 500,000, 1 million views, 2 million views. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some older ones there.
But these are from like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very long time. And yeah, so yeah, there's people
like,
definitely made it.
Guys.
You need to get Jacob in on it. He's a guy.
Well, I was going to say, if you ever need help with stuff from the files of the games and that, Jacob is an Australian as well, and he's a bit of a Rain Man of DayZ as well. So if there's something,
perfect.
If there's something custom you need, send him a message now in the Discord, just so you can connect with him. And if you
That's
ever
Jacob
need
Mango, right?
Jacob Mango, yep. And if you ever need a couple of actors, well, you've got Lax and Don Sibley. Lax is also the biggest DayZ streamer in Australia, one of the biggest in the world as well. So, yeah. Unfortunately, he's in Victoria, and we just can't trust those COVID bloody breaches.
Do you always wear a suit, Jacob, everywhere you go?
This isn't a suit, it's just a
Me?
normal shirt.
That's a suit, man.
That's not.
Maybe I'm losing my mind.
You are.
You've had one too many, Lax. I'm going to be honest, man.
So
I always have one too many.
What's next for the series? Like, how long is this going to go for? And
it's such a hard question. Well, to be honest with you, these take a lot of time and cost quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
I have a lot of gear that I have a full cinema camera set up, lights. I mean, I've got a huge light above me right now. We Airbnb that whole place for a weekend. I had my mates helping, and it's kind of that situation where we're burning the candle at both ends, because to be completely candid, we need it to be backed by someone, otherwise it won't go on, because people only have so much time and money. You guys know this. The DayZ podcast is probably a great example. I'm sure that this takes a lot of effort and a lot of grit to keep going and doing that kind of stuff. So it's a bit like that. So we're kind of organizing how we want to do that going forward, because with my relationships in the film industry and people I know and that kind of stuff, there's an ability to build a crew that can create, with the right money, the right funding, the right people. You'd be looking at a film. You'd be looking at like the real deal and taking that production to a way higher level.
I'm just blown away by it. I think it's... that said, you said earlier that it's so obvious that it's in Australia. It's not. When I found that out, I actually mentioned that last week. And I asked the guests who were on the show at the time, where do you think it's filmed? And most of them were saying like America or somewhere like that. And I went, no, it's filmed here in Australia. Because even I wasn't 100% sure. I was just looking at it. I was in the army for 10 years, so I spent a lot of time out in the bush. And I was looking at it just going, fuck me, that just looks so familiar. But it's not painfully obvious. Like, once you know, you start looking at things, the number plates on cars and things like that. And you can sort of recognize eucalyptus.
You can see it. Yeah. And a kangaroo just kind of...
I love the little details. The little details was good too. Like the little axe that you've done, the fiberglass axe. It's exactly like DayZ. Just the little tiny details that you've gone the extra mile.
Oh, you mean the axe he carries?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm just watching. Even the axe is the perfect... Yeah, it's a replica of the game. Yeah,
that's a real axe. That's from New York.
Yeah, well, just those little details. What makes it for me, the backpack, even like I think it's fucking awesome that you've gone to that extent to get the right axe and whatnot too. So.
The little tent, the little pup tent. I like it.
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome.
That was the thing when I was writing the script, and my best mate and my brother was kind of helping me get ideas, because his name's Oliver, but Oliver, who was on here before, he I think he introduced me to DayZ when we used to play about, I don't know, 8-10 years ago or something. It was Arma 2, DayZ mod, back when finding a gun took you weeks. Like, they were nowhere except on the racks up the top of the school, and it would probably never be there. And we remember it from those days, and that was super exciting. There was no building; it was just surviving the zombies. And
those were great days.
Yeah, they really were awesome.
You started below the hangars that you used to have to go into too. You know, those big green
and you'd sit in a bush for 4 hours watching like a group of dudes loot a helicopter crash site for night vision goggles for an AF-50 or something. And we wanted to capture the like isolation and the horror element because, as you guys know, as soon as you see someone in DayZ, you instantly think they're bad. Like, well, when I used to play, I haven't played in a long time, but it was like, if I see a guy, the chances of him trying to kill me is probably very high.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
especially two of the guys in here.
Yeah, we like to torture people now.
Well, yeah, I mean, DayZ's pretty big on YouTube. I see a lot of American guys, a lot of English guys posting. I think JLK. I was doing some research when I was writing the scripts, and they like handcuffing people in the middle of fields and executing them, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this has come a long way.
Oh yeah.
To simplify, I don't know. We want to keep the series going, and we want to go bigger, and like we want the series to go longer. I think the next episode's aiming at about 10 minutes.
Yep.
So I've given you a nice teaser of the fact that he's changed locations, he come across someone. There's some things in the next episode that you don't get from that teaser, and why he's there and all that kind of stuff. So we want to turn it more into a story, and like a cinematic experience for the fans of DayZ, basically.
Maybe look at
how many
a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or something. What were you going to say, Don?
Now, how many episodes you got so far? You said you had a day of shooting. So how much, like, in the can? Or...
Well, so the first one was a day. The second one was the prologue was a day. The first episode was a day, and this one was actually a weekend. So we shoot and produce.
Oh, so you've been in there a few times. So the same spot,
yeah, definitely. Because like filmmaking's quite a grueling. It can actually be a really grueling process. Like really long days. Lighting can change, can really screw you. Gear can break. Gear can not work. And when you've got kind of people who are there for free to help, there's only so much you can do out of passion. And I mean, if there was like, you know, if you were looking at 10-20 grand an episode and you were producing some big stuff, then you're looking at 15 people, you're looking at professionals, you're looking at like a serious set, and there's only so much one can do with just people who are willing to help and all that kind of stuff. So we have to go down and invest and shoot and plan, and that's why it takes so long, basically.
So you're going out there again at this point? Like, have you got that was a teaser for episode 2? Is there more to come yet?
Well,
is that another weekend?
That will definitely be another weekend, but the idea is to be in that location again. So I've written the script, and I've written the next script based on this area, because as you can see in the teaser, he opens the door. No one knows what's in the house. I know what's going to happen, but we want to keep it in that area, and it's partly because I got really, really lucky finding that place. The guy who owns it is a photographer, and I hired it for an Airbnb, and I noticed in the photos these sheds, and I said, "What's in the sheds?" And he goes, "Oh, it used to be a bar. It's kind of like abandoned because no one really uses it." And I go, "I want to shoot a film. Is there any chance we can shoot in there if it's good?" And I was crossing my fingers where we were going down there. Opened up the doors, and as you can see in the teaser, man, it's amazing. The lighting is beautiful. The sound effects are fantastic. It looks like a nuclear bomb has just gone off, and there's just dust everywhere. Everyone's just left their kids' toys. The bar's still got half a bottle of vodka, says reception.
Is this the first episode, or second episode? The teaser, is it? Oh, it's the teaser.
Yeah,
I'm watching it now.
Yeah, the teaser. So, we basically got struck the jackpot there, and I said to the crew, I said, I think it's smart that we write the next episode or two here, because we have the spot, and we have the okay from the owner, and because it's internal, I can light it. If it's overcast outside and I want to blast light in through the windows and pretend it's sunny, I can do that. But if I'm stuck in the forest and I have to bring generators out and I have to light it in a different way, I mean, you're looking at like $10,000 worth of gear to hire on that day to pump lights in. So kind of got to go with our strengths at the moment, if that answers your question, Don.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Are the actors your friends or somebody you pay? Sorry.
So, Etty's the main actor, and he's a musician and an actor. He's a theatre trained actor. He's a good friend of mine, and he wanted to come on board and was totally keen. And he's a fantastic actor, so he really enjoys his character. And because he's a theatre actor, he just brings so much kind of tension to the film. Whereas
he did. That first episode, he was really good in. Like, you could see the anguish and the fear in his eyes, and it was really good.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of a theatre actor, is they will read the script, but the script doesn't really mean that much to them. It's like as soon as they click their fingers and they're on, and you kind of got to let them do their thing and then cut around it. So and then I had Alex on sound, who's a good friend of mine. Jack is basically just assisting me with setting things up, helping with the script, and because they think it's a great idea as well, and they want to get involved. And it is fun, as long as you're not, destroying yourself to get it done. It is a really, really fun thing to do, and also people love it. So you're getting something back. It's not just no one's seeing it. And who else was down there? Another friend, Harry, was down there. And I've had a few other people help on the other episodes, but they weren't in this one.
Yep.
So, at the moment it's just friends and a few people who've worked in the industry with me.
Awesome.
Helping to keep your overheads down a bit.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I've got a tiny bit of seed money coming from somewhere, and then I basically just fund it myself. Like I said, I've got a cinema camera, I've got really good gear, but gears can only do so much if you don't have the hands and the time to use it.
What are you looking to get out of the whole production? Like, obviously, is there any way you can get income from it, or is it YouTube, or what's the?
I guess I was actually going to ask you guys what you think, because as I said to you before, it's hard for us to go forward for many more episodes when people are working full-time jobs, and if the episodes get more hectic, and we're gone for weeks at a time and we're in remote locations, don't get me wrong, that's super exciting, but that takes a huge sacrifice of time, money, effort, this, that, and the other. So we've basically got two ideas at the moment, and it's Patreon or go straight to DayZ for backing or support.
I say try to do both. I think there's a lot of people out there who'd like to be able to, have their name in the credits at the end of it or something like that as helping funded it. DayZ community is a very passionate community. There are, I've even got 3 Patreons for this show, and people have bought, mugs and shirts and stuff like that just for a silly little podcast. Something like this, that it's easily understandable that there's going to be a lot more costs involved. I think you'd find there's a lot of people who'd be happy to chip in to help keep it going.
Yeah,
give us an idea of how much an episode does actually cost.
Well, that last episode ran close to $2,000. That's not including. That's just out of pocket for hiring the dolly, and then mostly the Airbnb and the travel.
Right.
That doesn't take into account all the gear that I'm bringing and other people are bringing. So if you were to take that into account, then it's much higher. But I guess it would be exponential on that, because if we're starting to bring in dialogue, as you've noticed, there's barely any dialogue. If we're starting to bring in dialogue and other characters and conflicts and resolutions and drama, emotions, relationships, things that could potentially happen in the DayZ world, then you're starting to look at 30 to 40 minute episodes that are gonna go 10 times that in cost.
Someone in chat's just said, what about applying for funding through any of the arts organisations and that?
In Australia, in Sydney, or just in Australia in general? I should probably make sure my stream's up. I'm sure there they are. Screen Australia is interesting. I would love to do it, but from what I've seen and the stuff I've gone through with Screen Australia is they are very, very particular on who they give money to and why, because they don't have a lot of it, and unless it's directly benefiting the greater good of Australian culture, I'm not sure. I mean, I could try, but I'm just not sure they're going to be into an Australian guy making movies about a game. Right. I'm just really it's that's more of an American mindset, where they would be, Americans are great when it comes to backing horses and getting excited about projects. They really are. I mean, they're probably the best in the world at it. So I mean, I could try, but I just don't think government money is going to be. I just don't. I can't see it being the way to go.
I think still, the worst they're going to say is no. But then again, I imagine there's a lot of time and effort that goes into putting a submission in for them. But the worst they're going to say is no. But definitely, I still think there's a possibility to do a Patreon. We'll promote it here on the show. I'm certain Lax will mention it in his stream and stuff like that. Sarah Moore will probably mention it as well. Because there's a lot of people out there who are passionate for DayZ and seeing stuff like this. Like we mentioned before, there's another project at the moment being filmed in the Czech Republic at the moment. So they've got a big advantage, obviously, with location. They're able to go to the actual locations that DayZ was inspired on. But as we said again earlier, there's been other series before. Something like this ongoing, I think it's a great way to, Is your channel monetized on YouTube?
It's not. I'm just shy of 1,000 subs, I think, about by 100 and something. 129, and I need, I think I need 4,000 watch hours or something like that.
Yeah, something.
To even. I mean, it's a lot. And that's kind of our idea here is, I've pitched so when I was working on this VR project, I pitched to some big people in LA asking for a lot of money, and they loved what we were doing. It's just, it was unfortunate that the VR industry was going down. So from our point of view, there's no reason why we shouldn't go straight to DayZ and say we want to partner with you. That people love it. It's in your best interest to be a part of this. And let's take this from a proof of concept to a full-blown production and push this name of this game into the stratosphere, because it's in their best interest. It drives people to their game
in general. So have you talked to Adam?
Adam wouldn't be the guy to talk to. It'd be
who's you talk to?
It'd be Scotty or the marketing team.
Bohemia,
this would be more a Bohemia interactive.
Yeah.
You reckon
Adam could point you in the right direction at the very least, but he wouldn't be the guy to talk to you about that.
Well, it's a good time to do it.
I'll talk to Scotty.
I mean, he's on the way up. Right? Ride the train, get on the roller coaster.
Sorry, I'm just going to write these names down. You're using first names. What are their full names?
I'll connect you with Scotty on Twitter.
Sure.
I'll send you add you to a DM just so you can connect with
worries.
him. The best one though is just connect with the DayZ Twitter account, and they'll point you in the right direction. They'll be the people who would be able to say what they can and can't do. personally, I don't know how far they would go with it. They're only a small company themselves, Bohemia Interactive, so I'm not sure what their budget is like for this. And I think they've got some pretty strict guidelines around what they do and don't get involved in as well. So, but again, the worst they're going to say is no. Everything from there is a step in the right direction.
That's right. Yeah.
Was it $2,000? Was what the first episode cost? Was it roughly?
The one you just watched, the teaser. That's what this will run.
So this episode cost you. This episode.
It's not taking into account all the other stuff as well. Yeah. So
what's the runtime on the full episode? Just curious.
We're looking at 10 minutes. I'm looking at a good 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because I mean, like those guys who are creating the stuff in Chernaris, I mean, hopefully they're able to just go and shoot it on I don't know if they're fans or professional filmmakers. I don't know anything about them, but it's exciting that they're making something as well. I think it's fantastic. But I don't. It's hard in Australia to just go into the middle of nowhere and shoot. You'll just have a ranger come up to you and just say, "What are you doing?" You're like, "Man, I'm in the middle of a forest. Like, who cares? I'm not hurting anyone."
It'd be awesome with the DayZ community. Like, imagine and it could easily happen. Bordy, Running Man, myself, but bigger streamers like myself, Tobrek, and all that have Running Man he actually commented on your video.
He did. Yeah, he did. I didn't know anything about him, and then someone said,
if we could do like a charity event, or something, not a charity event, but event that could get this to Kickstarter to help you out.
A promotion of it.
Promotion is probably what we call it. I'm sure that Paul, if he commented on it, he's probably one of the biggest streamers out there as well. But in terms of DayZ, myself, and then Smoke, maybe. there'd be a lot of people that if they see the movie, they actually watch it. I'm sure they'd be happy to.
Reaching out and connecting with those guys is a big thing, Mr. Utah.
It'd be everything, dude. If you show them the action,
Lax is one of the biggest names, but Lax is big. But then you've got Running Man, you've got Smoke. You've got Shroud now as well. If you could get those guys promoting this as well, that will be huge for you. Very, very huge.
Yeah, no, that would be pretty insane. The only problem there is I'm not particularly savvy in that area. Like, I can make a film, but contacting people is, it's not. It's just I don't really know how to do it. To be completely candid.
A guy who might be able to help you is right above you in the camera feed. Don Sibley. Don Sibley's got a bit of understanding of your industry from what I know of Don's past. Plus, he knows who's who in the zoo. So Don's another good guy to connect with as well, Don.
Yeah, I could be that missing link to the,
anything to just gain awareness to the series, because it's
the best. Running Man, Bordy, you could do something, surely.
Oh, look, I'll be promoting it and spreading the word
Running Man
as well.
Just a little bit of Twitter buzz would be, something to just kind of get it to just start off in the DayZ.
Just keeps a bit of fire going, and then I'm sure that Running Man and Smoke, and I'm definitely, if those guys are in, I'll be in 100%. You know what I mean?
I just popped it on Twitter. Yeah, I popped it on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook at the moment, so it's just kind of sitting there and see who. DayZ shared our first one and said they were interested, and
Flash was the main actor. Funny when government approved. Marty, shut up. But it's one of those things that you got to be, if you really want it, you got to go for it, and
that's exactly
like anything,
right.
Isn't it? You got to Don't be afraid to get rejected, if that makes sense. Like
no, I'm not. I went out on a whim and created this series, so I'm certainly not afraid. Like, I posted on Reddit, I'm not scared. So
yeah, you fed into the pack of wolves already.
Yeah. It's funny because I went in pretty positive and was like, yeah, these guys are gonna really love it, and I didn't really know anything about. I didn't know anything about Reddit, and then my brother was kind of like, yeah, post it on Reddit. Didn't really.
The reality is a lot of people don't care how much you've worked your ass out of it. You know what I mean? That's a brutal, honest answer. A lot of people just don't give a shit. They're just happy to negative. Yeah.
But if you're posting for a friend, that's different. Then all of a sudden everybody loves it. It's weird.
Oh,
Reddit has
right.
weird dynamics. Like
the main thing is the diehards will love it. Like we'll love it. Running Man will love it. I bet you he's watched it already. Like you said, like those people, if you really talk to them about it, they're the people that can really change it and get those funds in for you.
I just shared your Twitter in chat as well. Someone just asked for it. That's the Twitter account for Mr. Utah.
Any view, any share really helps to get us off the ground because I've got a crew that's very keen, and I'll keep making them definitely. Going forward, at least a few more, at least. And as you can see,
where is the actual site? Sorry, I'll share it in my community and get some. I'll get you to that. What do they call it? What do they call that? What's that YouTube thing they call it when you're partnered? What's that?
Monetized.
Monetized.
Yeah. What do you need for that?
1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the last year or something.
All right. Well, yeah. If I can get that link, we should be able to make that happen.
I've just sent you his Twitter account, Blacks, in a DM.
I'll pop the
I did as well, actually.
I'll pop the channel on.
Yeah, I'll get a few people watching that. It should get over the line over the line. Hopefully, fingers crossed with the.
I think that's my channel. Yeah, there's my channel. There it is. It's in chat now.
Yep.
Yeah. Wait, is that your brother? Or is that you?
Where?
Inclement Dab. He just did it then. Who's it? What? Oh, you. Is that you? Oh, okay, all right. You spoke.
Oh, like.
So I'm Senhole, by the way.
I've heard.
99% of the time I'm intoxicated. So look, this is who I am. All right, good. That's all. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to work out how to put that in Discord now.
Where'd you get the props there? See, he's got the gun.
Oh, so
I'm on board. This is great. This is fantastic. I reckon you've done some. Yeah, you're doing.
That's Harry. He's I grew up with him. I've known him for 24 years now. He's a hunter. That was a 308. So that's a real rifle, real bullet.
Mm-hmm.
Pointed at a real person. But the pin's out, so no one could get shot.
I was going to snuff film.
And so got the real props down there. Axe is a real. I think they call it a Pulaski axe, and it's basically a New York fire axe. And we just try to create. Yeah, we're just trying to get the props as real as we can. If you in the Counter-Strike one that I have on my channel, I bought all these toy guns and then sprayed them black and then gun metal brushed them and all that kind of stuff. And then when you put them on camera, man, they look real. And when we were shooting the scene inside the abandoned brewery down in Mittagong, the cops came in and some guy was tied up in an orange, like some ISIS video, like straight out of an ISIS video. And just boom, like they just came in, they're like, what's going on here? And we're like, drop the guns. We're like, they're fake. Don't do anything. So you do.
We're just making a film, man.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
You got to be. It's got to be pretty careful. But that's why this area we were in is so fantastic because it's secluded. No one knows you're there. It's a private property. You know, we can basically do whatever we want, apart from shoot each other up. That's pretty much it.
See if again, if we can spread the word, we might even be able to find you some members of the DayZ community who actually own. If you were up here in Brisbane, I could help you out with a Mosin, a CR527.
Oh wow!
We've actually. My son owns them. He's into historic rifles, but I'm certain there'd be people even in New South Wales who might own those rifles, that would just absolutely blow the mind of, because I know you can pay someone to provide the weapons, but I imagine that's a very costly thing to engage in.
Yeah, that's usually under the it's usually under an armourer. So an armourer is basically someone who has a license, and they have a license to hire out.
Theatrical.
They'll have an array of guns. I mean, you're in the army, you could probably become an armourer pretty easily because you've already got all that stuff, or you've already got all those licenses, and you know your gun safety. And they are so expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, some armourers are like 2-3 grand a day.
Mm.
Just because, you know, who else are you going to use, man?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we got to get creative, but it's fun. Like, you know, creating those guns was exciting, and making the silencers was fun, and trying to make them look real was really fun. It was awesome that we could get a real 308 rifle.
Yeah,
we had a few to choose from and a 22, but I just thought that gun looked really good. It's obviously not in the game, but I mean, I looked at it and was like, you know what? It's either that or a 22, but the 22 wasn't like that scary.
Yeah.
So I was like, screw it, we'll go with this one. And
this is Australia. All guns are scary here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've held a few guns in my life, maybe 2, and he brought them down. I was like, just get that away from me. Like, let's put it in the film. No thanks. So yeah, it's been really, really fun, and we're super, super excited to kind of bring the zombies in as well. We'd bring the infected, and again, that's people and makeup. I've got a makeup crew that's kind of basically on standby for the next couple of episodes, and we're looking to kind of dress some people up and bring in some of that Walking Dead vibe.
Yep.
I'm
looking forward to that.
So yeah, we're trying to we're doing it slowly, because if we can do it simple and effective, and it still comes across, it's still good and people still like it, then we can transition into the higher end stuff with a few more people and a few more exciting elements, but still keep it at that quality that people want. Because as you guys know, it's very easy for someone to, for example, get a little bit of a lift off, maybe as a streamer or a filmmaker or anything else, and they kind of make the wrong decision and it goes the other way. And you're like, ooh, shouldn't have done that. So we want to maintain, the number one thing is maintaining the DayZ feeling, and that intensity, that intensity of, it might just be a can of food, but a can of food is everything in the real world of DayZ, because you'll just pass out and die.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what we're trying to do. And yeah, glad you guys like it.
We do. We really do.
I just posted up on my Discord too, so hopefully we can get you to it. What was it, 1,000 subs, was it?
1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Hopefully that can happen very soon, so that should get at least monetized, I guess. But I reckon surely the DayZ community can. Yeah. Well, anyway, if people are on board, I'll definitely be on board. So
be a leader, Lax. Be a leader. Lead the charge.
It's always.
Don't be a sheeple. Don't be a sheeple, Lax.
Oh God.
See what we can do, eh? We'll see what we can do.
I've got
we can do something.
It would be amazing if only if it deserves it. You know, we've got to fight hard for it too. It's, you know, you can't just be given everything. But if there's any, I've got a couple of questions for you guys. Like, what do you want to see? What do you like about the series? Because the people who make them,
excuse me, sorry.
Unfortunately, this time of year, you ain't going to get no Namolsk in Australia. You ain't getting no Namolsk environment here.
You'll be fine.
That said, that if the series does continue, that would be amazing to see some stuff in the snow fields, wherever that is in Australia. I'm having a mental blank at the moment.
Threadbird?
Well, yeah, Snowy Mountains.
Snowy Mountains and Threadbird. Snowy Mountains. How could I not fucking remember the Snowy Mountains?
Just trying to think, like, I mean, what's relevant in the DayZ community now that's all hyped up that we could make it into a movie? Like, what should be in the next episodes? Is that what you're trying to, like...
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll implement things with ideas from the DayZ community and things we want to do for DayZ. And, you know, for example, I've got when I worked on that VR film, I now have a very good relationship with a Russian friend of mine who knows a Russian visual effects team who can do helicopter crash sites at very high level and all that kind of stuff. So these are the things that we want to implement, but we don't want to give everything straight away. We want it to go on for quite some time because
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So
sorry, you go on.
No, just like care packages and the red smoke and helicopter crash sites.
There's one bit you need like a scene where because the can, so it's a simple scene too. The can of peaches, you probably know yourself, in DayZ is the most iconic item in fucking DayZ. You need like a shelf or something or an abandoned building with like an old abandoned supermarket with just like a couple of these can of peaches, and people will go fucking nuts. People will go fucking nuts.
Taking out some infected.
Yeah, taking out some zombies with it. The can of peaches
and a shovel. Yeah.
Pick the can up, flip the can, look at it, and bam! Whack us the zombie right on the head.
Well, the biggest symbol of DayZ is the can of peaches. Everybody knows the can of peaches, and it's an easy thing to do too. Like it won't cost you anything too. But I don't know how you'll put that in there. But the can of peaches in the DayZ community, everybody knows the can of peaches.
And that
yeah.
I was going to say,
everybody knows the can of peaches.
Because a lot of that stuff was modeled off of actual like supermarket items in the Czech Republic. So I'm sure you could probably get in contact with those guys and say, "Hey, can you send me a couple of the items that you based this off of, like the actual peaches themselves?"
You know something that would really blow everyone's mind.
Yeah, that too.
Let me just see if I can bring it up.
Beer.
CMOT tactical bacon.
Oh, yeah,
that's an actual real item. Not a lot of people know.
Tactical bacon. Wait a minute.
I still think the peaches are more of an iconic item than the bacon.
CMOT? Was it CMOT?
Sorry, CMMG. I've got a link. I'll send it to you.
There it is. Oh, yeah. Fuck, it is too.
There you go. People in my community are already. This is incredible. Holy shit, Lax! What is this movie? So there you go. We'll get this. See if we can get those subs.
Now, see, there's someone who, worst case scenario, you could reach out to them and say, "Hi, look, this is what we're doing." You could show them the video you've done already. What we would love is to offer you a chance to sponsor the show. We'll include your item. Put a link to being able to buy it. Yeah, that's another idea. It's an actual. It's one of the few licensed items that's actually in the DayZ game. So, and it's a real product that gets sold. I know myself. One of the things I loved about the first episode was, as I said to you, the audio. You had the actual audio of the guns from the game. The real guns sound a bit different in real life, but you had the audio. It was like, fuck, that was a Mosin, and whatever. Then when he put the splint on, you bothered to make the splint, similar to the way they are in the game. It's those little.
You fucking noticed that. Thank you.
It's those little Easter eggs that will get you not only the views, but you'll get the hardcore people saying, "Yeah, I've got a spare $50 this month. I'm going to donate it to the Patreon for this," because they're staying true to the game. They're not doing an arcadey, King of the Hill deathmatch style version of DayZ. They're staying true, and you may find people donating money, items, whatever, to help, to be able to say that they helped do this.
Yeah. Like the DayZ map, for example, was like, oh, fuck, there's the DayZ map. But what the fuck?
Yeah, ordered that familiar from the Czech Republic.
People love that shit. People love that shit, yeah.
And see, is it Kaiser in Twitch? Is that how you say the name? Kaiser?
Yep.
Kaiser?
Kaiser.
It says could print the labels and stick them onto cans. And see, my next idea is because the film studies I did, I could just design them after the game and print them. And then
just print them, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, like, you talk to me or Jacob, we can get you the texture for it. We can get you the texture.
If you
can get me the high-level texture, I'll just print it.
If you get somebody beating somebody up with a can of peaches, people will lose their fucking shit. I swear,
but not comically, like aggressively.
No, I mean, aggressively, brutal, fucking brutal. Like He's looking for it.
I'm picturing that scene.
Going through doors, open up the.
I'm picturing that scene in my head. Someone caving someone else's head in with a can of fucking spaghetti or beans or bacon.
It's fucking brutal. Like, it is brutal. Like, that would be fucking amazing. People go skits for that.
Yeah.
They would. They would like, this is amazing. And people go skits. Then the traction comes, and then people are like, okay, we got to support this. This is fucking amazing. Like, it just needs
it's so simple. Like, even if you had the guy like looking through the cupboards for stuff and it opens the last one, there's the beans sitting there. You know what I mean?
And it doesn't cost you anything too. It won't be too much on you too. Like, that's the biggest little things like that. It won't cost you much. You know?
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah, it could affect YouTube monetization. That is a point.
How though? What with peaches?
Violence, violence. I think
you could get around that.
There you go. He's already found it. This is what I mean, MrUtah. You've got some amazing people here who can help you with.
Jacob's still here. Jacob's the mayor. Where are you, Jake? Are you still here? Are you? Can't see anymore. Oh, he's gone.
I think his internet exploded.
It's probably gone for about 6 hours.
Yeah, both me and Jake.
Wow.
So you could just buy a normal can of peaches and relabel it with that.
Perfect one right there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay. Jacob, I'll be coming to you for some files, my guy.
No, that was Inclement Dab.
Oh, sorry, who?
Yeah, Jacob was the guy that was here earlier. I think his internet died, but...
Well, anyone, really. Like, yeah.
I can shoot you a DM. Go.
What's another iconic? I'm trying to think of other iconic things now that people always fucking do. The rope is an easy one that people tie people up all the fucking time.
Well, we did that with the dragging away, and people loved that one. And nice. it's also
I'm friendly. Has anyone ever shouted I'm friendly yet?
No, see, when it comes to dialogue, we're biding our time because, as you guys know, in DayZ, dialogue's not really a thing, especially in the early days of DayZ. You didn't talk to anyone. That shit was way too scary.
It'd be funny though, like everybody always says I'm friendly. Like everyone would fucking lose their shit.
Exactly. Like, I'm friendly. Puts their hands up like that.
Yeah. Someone opens the door and the head goes around. It's Uncle Ray. I'm friendly.
I've just added Chamber Senator, a guy in the chat who can help you with any DayZ lore if there's something that you need to know about. I've added Inclement Dab and Don Sibley to a group chat with you on Twitter. Just so if you've got any questions, you can hit us up.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's fantastic.
Yeah, Chamber Senator. He had a comment there before that he would love to see some stuff talking about the origins of the virus outbreak and that. And he knows all of this sort of stuff. He's right into the lore of DayZ. When it comes to lore of DayZ, there's not many people who know more about it than he does. He's the one who designed most of the questions in that quiz before.
Right, okay. Yeah, see, exactly. Lore's a really good thing because, I mean, we could go with the DayZ lore specifically, or we could kind of go off a tiny bit and kind of create our own feeling of it, but still giving props to the inspiration from DayZ itself. I mean, like, this is what I was saying before: is it can go anywhere. I mean, Chernarus is such a big map, and then you've got, I guess, if you're talking standalone, you've got you got Livonia and the Mousks now. But if you're looking at the Arma 2 mod, you've got Takistan, you got everywhere. There's just so many. I think, what was the one I used to play? It was a jungle one, and it was the bomb. It was on Arma 2. No, not going to remember it. But it was almost like in Panama or something like that. Kind of felt like that vibe. Like
Taviana.
You can kind of go
Next
anywhere.
Wales just said Taviana. I never got to play Taviana.
Was it Taviana? No, Lingor. Yeah, that was awesome. So I'm really, really looking forward to shooting the next one. I've still got a pretty hectic effort of editing this episode to get it out by the end of December. Just 10 days. But very excited in the next episodes because we're going to start introducing other characters. That's what I can tell you.
Nice.
We're going to very, very slowly start introducing other characters who may or may not survive that episode. I have no idea.
Ooh.
But it's important to. I think someone said before in Twitch is to bring emotion, because we're trying to create. Essentially, we're trying to create a film just cut up into little segments. And what I would love to do down the road is to shoot a full-blown feature of DayZ. That's what I would love to do, with a dedicated crew and a location and a real script and a real indie setup and shoot a film. But in this series, we're going to start introducing some other people soon, because we need some dialogue. We need some.
Once you get a few episodes under your belt too, and people start to really enjoy it, that's when I reckon even a one-on-one call with Running Man, I know it sounds like crazy, but it can happen. A one-on-one call with Smoke or something like that, just to say, look, man, check these videos out. I hope you love them. All we need is like a promotion from your channel just once. Do you love them? Yeah, man, I love them. Well, this is what we need to keep going. If we can't keep going, then we just can't do it. You keep it blunt, keep it simple.
Get a Patreon going.
Keep it simple. Like, we can't do it. Like, financially, we want to keep doing this. We love DayZ. We love the community. We fucking love it. But look, the reality is, money's money. If we can't afford it, we can't do it. But look, we're just asking you, can you help us out? If and these guys can, the money that these guys can raise sometimes is fucking insane. And I'm sure anything that's actually supporting DayZ, I reckon they'll be all for it. It's just making sure that you just got to be ruthlessly honest, and you gotta go for them. You gotta message them, and you gotta say, "Can I have a one-on-one? You've checked my videos out. I need to talk to you." And hopefully, fingers crossed, they're good enough to reply back. So,
yeah, look, I'd love to. I'd love to get in contact with them. Question to you is, like I said before, I'm not that savvy at it. Which platform seems to be the best for conversations with people?
Twitch. It's all Twitch, man. Twitch is the biggest.
Right.
But Twitch is only good when you're in the chat with someone who's live. Go
to Discord.
For you,
I always do Twitter DMs.
Twitter DMs and Discord channels. The DayZ standalone has its own Discord. Again, after the stream finishes, so tomorrow sometime, I can give you some links to some Discords and that. But you've just got to be careful going into a streamer's stream and advertising something else, especially if
of course.
Some of them can be a bit.
It'd be more a polite way to do it behind the scenes with Discord and Twitter, and just to go, the right way about it, of course. But
And I mean, don't be afraid to like go up to the people that you do already know and be like, "Hey, do you know how to get in contact with X and X? Because I want to ask him so and so and whatever." You know, because a lot of us, we know each other. A lot of us know each other. It's a small enough community where it's like,
honestly, the DayZ community would be right behind this. That's all. I just feel like they would be right behind this.
To put it in perspective, like if you said it, maybe a few $1,000s will fund an episode. I was able to raise almost $2,500 to buy a laptop for a member of my community. Now, you're watching my channel right now. I've got 66 people watching me. This is more than I usually get. Just with my small reach, I was able to raise a few $1,000s to buy a friend of the community a laptop because his one was about 10 years old. Earlier this year, Lax, how much did you raise for the bushfires?
I think we got up to $7,000 or $8,000 or something.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. Well done.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you want, man, after Christmas, this is from me to you, man, after Christmas, once it's done, after New Year's done, if you need money, I'm happy to do a week or 2 week long thing of supporting your, putting something out there, putting a goal out there that goes towards this DayZ film. I can do that for you.
That's pretty awesome, man. Thank you. Well, you'll have an episode to go off the back of.
Nice. So get in touch with me after the New Year. Boyd's probably got the details, and then I can just want to get this new year out of the way, and then in January sometime, I'm sure I've got a really good community. They're fucking awesome. I'm sure they'll be more than willing to help out too. But I'm just one of them. There's bigger guys than me. There's Smoke and there's Running Man too. But I'm sure if we get everybody involved, I'm sure that Boyd, you've got the connections. You're best friends with Running Man, so.
No, that's really.
But I'm sure I could do something. I'm sure I could do fucking something. I'm sure of it. So I can help out.
Look, I was very surprised. I didn't know the DayZ community at all when I posted this. I just like the game, and I think it's fantastic for making stories and making films because it's exciting. And I used to love playing it with my friends, and I was like, this would make a really good game. I just landed on this game. I was like, I think this is going to be great. And I didn't realize how all the comments, I mean, as Boydie was saying before, the comments went wild. People were just like, we want to see so much of this and all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty overwhelming. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And that was only a measly 7,000 views for someone like me. It was pretty cool.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a really didn't know about the podcast. I didn't know anything, to be honest, about the.
We'll look up you. We'll look up you, won't we, Don?
You stumbled across the first episode, didn't you, Boydie?
Don looks like someone who's got a lot of money with that suit. He's probably got a few thousand.
Look at the house he lives in. Look at the house he lives in. Look at that fireplace. He's that rich he can afford air conditioning, so he has to put a fire on to look cool.
He's best friends with Tom Green. His legs. He's famous, actually. So he's definitely his money in that suit. He's the man to talk to. I'll tell you.
That's his wedding suit. He wears that every day.
How did you guys come across the first episode?
I can't remember.
Through DayZ?
I can't remember.
You shared it out. You shared it out, Boydie, I think.
I'm always searching. I'm always looking for DayZ stuff. And I remember I found it, and I was just like, oh my fucking God. Whether someone told me about it, because the podcast is basically meant to be like a hub of DayZ. Anything DayZ related, we'll talk about, and even stuff that isn't DayZ related. And somehow the link got to me, whether I found it or whether someone sent it to me, I can't remember. And then I just spammed it out to fucking everyone. Like, oh my fucking God, you've got to check this shit out.
He's the man when it comes to anything DayZ. And he's the biggest shit stirrer in the business too, like controversial. Jacob's back too, like.
I've been good lately, Lax. I've been good.
Yeah, which sucks.
I can't read Reddit, but
those, like I said, Jacob will help you out too. You'll be a big fan, won't you, Jacob? This guy, I can just see him. You can just tell by the look of him. This kid's going places. I can see it.
So, how did you guys get involved in DayZ so heavily?
I just fell in love with the game back. Frankie on PC. I think there's so many.
Yeah, those were the days. Those were the days. Yeah, I remember that.
So Frankie on PC was the best thing that ever happened to DayZ. The series he made really showed people that this was a game that you could do almost anything in. And for so many people, like, I'm 47 years old. I've grown up playing video games since they were first fucking invented. But predominantly games were always set on a rail. You would just go where the game told you could go, do what the game let you do, and that was it. And then DayZ, this game appeared that was like nothing else I'd ever seen. It was do whatever the fuck you want. And it was like, and some people don't grasp that idea. Some people, like we were talking before about with Shroud, and some people were saying, so how do you finish the game? There is no end to DayZ. That's the beauty of it. No. Some people can't grasp that, and that's where your videos are why they're appealing to people. It's because it's another adventure in DayZ, even though it's set in the real world. But it's just allowing people to see, and I like the fact that you're doing yours serious. They're not shtick, they're not funny or nothing like that. It's a serious, suspenseful drama. And you've got people like Lax and Saramore who are renowned for their funny side of things they do, but even they end up in moments that are heart-stopping. DayZ, just as you said, it lends itself so well to a drama type series.
Yeah, it certainly does. It's I remember like being in some situations when I was younger playing the game, and I was like, I'm scared. I don't want to leave this house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really don't want to leave this house.
My house.
I will lose everything, and I'm gonna be fucking pissed if I do, and it's gonna take me weeks to get it again.
I knew Cerebral before he was famous, and you just thank you for the subscription, Cerebral too.
Yeah. This is your stream, Lex. I think.
Alright, I'm like.
So make sure everyone you follow Boydie73 on twitch.tv and get in there, guys. This guy's going to go places, I tell you.
I've only been going 4 years, Lax. I ain't going anywhere, mate. Especially
what about you,
this.
Don?
Hey, mate.
What about you? What got you into this community?
Like it's like what Woody was saying. Like I started off. I sort of liked PUBG because it's a game where you're playing you're battling against other people's skills and wits and all that sort of stuff. Instead of playing a game where it's like, you can learn the patterns and beat the level or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like with DayZ, it got me into it. Was like, you're actually playing against other people you can talk to and interact with and all that sort of stuff. And you start streaming, and then you like, especially with Twitch, we're saying they're a good spot to start off with. Host or raid, or you get hosted or raided, all that sort of stuff, and you connect with people. Then sort of go through Twitter, and it just sort of grows from there, really. But just the endless possibilities of the game.
The idea for Twitch for us is actually to live stream the productions, if that's something you guys would be interested in.
Mate, that would be again, Inclement Dab above you, he live streams modding and has quite a few people go in and watch him. The hardcore DayZ fans will be there to watch. Even if they don't fully understand what's happening, they'll be there. People in this community love to feel involved.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're just very interested in just being involved in the process. And I mean, if they ask questions, I mean, absolutely, I'll just go ahead and answer them.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. But yeah, that'd be a really interesting piece of content for Twitch, is just streaming the production process, because it's probably incredibly interesting for a lot of people.
Yeah, I reckon even Don would enjoy watching that, wouldn't you, mate? Don?
Oh, what's that? Sorry, I was reading chat.
I said, I think even you'd enjoy watching that, wouldn't you, with your background?
The production, yeah, absolutely.
You with us, Don?
Yeah.
And you say I'm fucking cooked.
Yeah, you're cooked. No, I was fucking reading chat, seeing what's going on. They're not asking me a question.
Where the Yankees hit it. Where the Yankees kick it.
In the fireplace, mate. Definitely watching live stream and the production. How would you go about that? Like, you need an extra.
So the next one, I'll have a behind the scenes filmer, and then I was thinking of also, apparently you can get backpacks that people can wear and live stream.
Oh yeah,
from.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Streamer packs or whatever.
They're expensive as hell, but they're good.
Carry
I was
around and shit.
hoping I could hire it from one of the production houses here. If not, I'd probably just have to get a one-off cell service for, like, say 200-300 gigs, and just then live stream it on a phone, and I'd have someone doing
even just doing YouTube videos or behind the scenes would probably be, even if it was only filmed on a bloody phone camera or whatever. The iPhone 12s and stuff like that do amazing footage these days, just to show people behind the scenes stuff. Again, you'd probably find people snap it up, lap it up.
Yeah, I wouldn't waste my money on those. I'll just use your phone, mate. Streamlabs is on your phone.
Definitely.
Way to go. Click live. Go for your life.
Yep, you could do that from your phone.
Put a GoPro on your chest and just walk around with that all day.
Yeah, I was thinking of just strapping it to my camera.
Yeah, I wouldn't go those streaming bags. They cost a fortune. Like, you just Yeah,
because you have a whole computer in there and everything like that. I mean, well, you could probably.
Wow.
Yeah, it has
to be. What's the phone service like out there where you're doing that at Middleton?
Shit house, mate.
Yeah, right.
Well, with Starlink coming out, you might get lucky.
Yeah, but that's like a while away still.
Yeah, true.
But that's exactly right in terms of behind the scenes. Like, because I've got a lot of people that I've worked with who are good cinematographers, and also they're really good at behind the scenes as well, and they enjoy doing that sort of stuff. So, or even if someone who's got the skills to do it in the DayZ community wants to get involved,
take it easy.
Plenty of people in New South Wales. No worries, Sarah.
Okay.
Good bucks here and there, and
good to see you, buddy.
Sarah Moore, yeah. What you could do is just do YouTube stories. Just post them onto YouTube stories.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
Yep.
YouTube stories.
Oh, like Fleets on Twitter? Is it Fleets or whatever?
Yeah, that as well. Yeah, but there's like
YouTube
the
stories.
stories thing on YouTube. Not sure, but yeah.
Right, okay. Okay, that's new to me. See, I'm not that savvy with it all.
Linus Tech Tips.
You could just any extra sort of footage you can throw up as well. Like you could put the DayZ theme, the theme song underneath some just some footage of
just kind of setting up lights, setting up this, setting up that.
The DayZ theme song is actually copyright.
Right,
I learned that the hard way. It sucks.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, it is. I played it on the editor stream.
Isn't it sucks anyway? The shit's a shit song anyway.
That's not a shit song, but it's
the theme song, the normal DayZ when you first get it. It's good now. I'll tell you what's amazing.
That one.
Oh, that's fucking terrible. Namalsk is absolutely amazing. The soundtrack.
Yes, the Namalsk soundtrack.
Holy shit!
Oh my god! Is Bubson in chat? Bubson, he did that. He absolutely killed it.
Whoever did that is got my. That's absolutely amazing. It even feels like when you're playing DayZ, somehow the music somehow syncs to what's actually happening. I don't know how they.
It's eerie. It's eerie how good it is. It just fits perfectly.
I get copyright strikes so often on this show. Oh,
really?
Oh yeah. So many songs that people use in videos are copyrighted, and yeah, it's just insane.
The DayZ theme song is fucking awful. There you go. Mark said the same thing as me. I wasn't bullshitting. Mark's is onto it. I don't like the theme song of DayZ, like the universal vanilla
I don't think
version.
it's that bad. It just sucks that it's copyright. That's just some bullshit. I
didn't like the DayZ theme song, to be honest. I just thought it was depressing.
The Namalsk soundtrack is brilliant.
The Namalsk soundtrack
we just said.
Absolutely fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Original Arma 2 menu theme song. That was a banger. Anybody remember that one?
I want to shake the
It was like the most basic thing ever, but it like brings back so much good nostalgia if you ever just listen to it. You just open it up for the first time and it's like, oh, it's back.
Well, who did the Namalsk again? Sorry, Jacob?
Bubson is his name.
What a fucking... I've never had anybody say anything bad about that thing. That soundtrack is just absolutely fucking amazing. I don't know what he done, but it's just absolutely amazing. Like it suits it down to a T, I reckon. The atmosphere.
What the hell? Someone's just started something on my channel.
I have no prediction thing.
Yeah. What is the combined age of those on screen?
Fucking hell.
So here we go.
All right,
well, I'm 27. I'm 26.
Yeah.
I can't fucking vote.
Don's you'd be up there. 52.
Oh, how? Why? That's bullshit. How would you get to that?
Pure
I didn't even know that was a thing.
How do you vote? How do you vote?
Yeah, prediction just came out.
A cheeky
500 old as fuck.
Who did that? Was it Daone?
Where's option C?
No, that was definitely me.
Late-ish 30s.
I think it's 70 at the moment.
Jesus.
Nah, it's more than that, mate. Me and you alone are 70.
Who's the youngest? You be the it's probably.
It's got to be about. It's got to be about 180, I reckon.
Fucking hell.
It's not all about age. Come on, you're only as old as you feel.
That's right.
Oh, something to do with the Namalsk OST.
Yeah.
The producer of the mouse would be friendly if you approach him. What? The producer of the music of the mouse would be friendly if you approach him about the music. Oh, you're talking about having the producer of Namalsk be part of the film.
No. He'd be free. He'd let you use it if you approach him
nicely. Something exciting.
Oh, you should see. The soundtrack is amazing, dude. To Namalsk, that would suit the theme of your movies. Amazing. It's not overwhelming either. It's not overwhelming. It would suit those YouTube videos down to a fucking T. It's not overwhelming. It's just it builds that immersion. Another thing that you probably need to get to a connection. You got to talk to the guy, and maybe for future reference. You might, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But I'm telling you, it's good.
Yeah, it's there's so many like layers to these films. Like when you write the script and then you get to the location, because I didn't get to go down to it beforehand. And I was like, I was just crossing my fingers going, please, 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 please. And the whole crew, it's funny because the crew was sleeping in the house right at night. And I swear to God, I didn't even get to sleep till, I don't know, 2 in the morning. We had to get up at 5. And it was, the place is, I swear the place is haunted. It's terrifying. It's out in the middle of nowhere. The whole place is creaking. One of the crew members is creeping around the side of the house trying to scare the shit out of people. Like, you know, like the door, like there's guns and the windows don't lock and your shed doors are flapping and there's fucking lightning strikes and you're like, oh my God, I'm in a horror movie right now.
You're gonna die here, man.
Yeah. Is that Ivan Milat territory? Is that Ivan?
Yeah,
yeah, it is. Belangolo's just up the road.
But what about Ivan Milat? Misunderstood.
Wow.
Yeah. So that kind of added to the whole entire experience, actually.
He might have a few guns for you.
See, now that would have made for great behind-the-scenes footage.
Oh, fuck me.
On-set footage of people shitting their pants. Absolutely, that's entertainment right there.
So we,
poor bastard.
We actually kind of came up with the idea of the script when we were there for the next one because we're like, we got to use this place, man. Like, the people who own the place are really lovely, and they basically let us just design the place. So the idea for the next one is set design and dress the place to be as DayZ as possible. And like I said, introduce some new characters and hopefully some infected, and get all the makeup artists down there and do all the shebang. And turn the inside into, you know, I'm not going to tell you what's happening, but, you know.
Don't tell us. If you get somebody beat up brutally with some fucking can of peaches, holy shit, the community's going to go fucking nuts.
You need a freshie whacking a guy in a gilly with the beans.
If somebody gets beaten by a can of peaches brutally, that fucking your videos will triple within.
Yeah.
Every day. I'm not lying though, but every DayZ person that loves DayZ would be like, holy fucking shit, they've done that. I'll be honest. Like, that would
I'll make you a deal. I'll write that in if all of you big streamers share it. That's my rule.
Easy.
Easy. That's easy. Come on.
I'm being honest. I mean, am I not right though? Am I not right? If people,
or a shovel. I think Don had the idea of a shovel. Shovel's a good one.
I reckon the peaches but the peaches has been around from the beginning. Everybody knows the fucking peaches. Everybody just knows it. Like, you just, and it needs to be brutal, where people will be like,
100%. The brutality is
holy shit.
You kind of want it to be like people look away and go, that's fucked.
Yeah, it's too much. Like the brains are coming out, and they're like, oh,
no,
for sure.
No, I don't agree. I think it's one of those scenes where all you need to see. In my mind, I'm picturing it. You just see the can of peaches going up in the air, go down, comes back up, bit bloody, goes down.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'm talking Saw shit. You know the movie Saw? I'm talking...
Lax, this is YouTube. Lax, this is YouTube.
And then he dies, he does a dab. He just goes, boom, dab.
This is YouTube.
He's cooked.
Is it too late to just fucking...
Second time, baby. Oh my god. No, but that'd be really cool. I mean, if you look at like Battlestate did it where they actually had 2 different releases for their films. They had an 18+ release, which was completely uncensored and you saw everything, and then there was a regular version, which was just, you know, designed for
I just noticed. That's crazy. I just noticed that Sour guy's in the channel.
Yeah, Sour.
I watched. I guess I'm talking to him, but I watched your videos as a kind of
inspiration,
R&D for some ideas for some future episodes, and one of them was, I think it happened for Sour that he was watching a guy get taken into the middle of a field in handcuffs and just got executed into the middle of the field. Like, and he had this amazing music going. And I was like, fuck, that's pretty cinematic, man. That's pretty cool. And yeah, so that's yeah. So he remembers. That's cool, man. That's really, really cool.
Another guy who I reckon you could get some inspiration from. I'll send you a link to his channel. It's a small YouTuber named Danny Boy. And basically his videos would give you inspiration for a whole episode. He is one of the Sarah Moore is probably and Uncle Ray and Lax are psychos, but Danny Boy does it in this way that is just so fucking creepy. He's the nicest guy. He sounds so trusting, and then he ties you up, tortures you, kills you.
That's so terrifying.
It is absolutely brilliant. And he's the beauty of him, even though I'm always shouting him out, is that because he's so unknown, people don't recognise his voice. Like, if Lax goes up to someone, people know who it is. Sarah Moore, everyone knows now. Uncle Ray, everyone knows now. The Running Man, everyone knows now. But this guy's a relative unknown, so he's still got that whole... He can catch people with their pants down.
Yeah.
That's another thing you need, a brutal torture scene. Brutal.
Oh, Alex, you have no idea how many things I have, and from a scriptwriter's point of view.
I want to look at you can't even look at it, like, and they're just like it's that bad. They're disgusted. But I tell you what, people that are disgusted, it makes for views.
It's
Passion of the Christ, for example.
You want to do a torture scene? Yeah. There's two things you need to put into it. You need to force feed someone a rotten kiwi, and then make them drink disinfectant. Every single OG DayZ player has either done that or had that done to them by someone.
Then my series just going to turn into some sick and twisted every episode.
That's exactly what it's starting to sound like. Yeah, I don't know, guys.
Whatever makes the money when it comes.
Yeah, it's like if you get up to 100,000 subs, you're like, sorry, got to keep going. It's what they want.
They want people. How many people tune into DayZ for the pure belittlement and the betrayal? A lot of people do. People love people getting tortured.
I like what Baron just said in chat, though. What you've got to remember, Lax, remember there is no terror in the bang, only in the anticipation of it.
And that's and he's got it. He or she has it. Like bang, right there is, as you guys know in the episodes, is I don't really show you that much.
No.
And a lot of people are loving that.
There's no anticipation of the bang. I love have you seen the movie Saw when he cuts his hand off? That was pretty funny. And you see the
that was so
guy.
Hilarious. I love that part.
There's a lot of funny. There's a lot of satisfaction in the bang. So the guy gets
and the right kind of bang.
No, but for the viewer. There's only gore and disgust in the actual moment. I call it the Jaws versus Saw. Jaws was one of the best movies for me in that it did need to show you a lot to have you absolutely terrified of going in the water. Whereas Saw, I don't find Saw movies entertaining. I just think they're whatever. All it is trying to gross you out the most. Sicken you to the point of... Oh.
It all depends how you do it. There's been so many amazing horror movies out there that are brutal, and they've gone and they've succeeded so much because they've gone above and beyond and actually shown the act. That's what.
Yeah, they've got they had the balls to. Yeah.
Well, it's like sex sells. Like some people, and unfortunately, there's a lot of statistic fucking people out there that want to actually see the act.
And that's why you have that's why you have a 3-story man cave, so you can hide all the bodies in there.
I mean, I've got several bodies underneath my pool table. Might be different.
Just the right size.
Some people like to see the act. That's what I'm saying. Like, they like to actually see the person get their fucking head plunged in.
No, and Lax is right in many ways, and we want to meet in the middle because there's still, like, in terms of like long form script writing, there's still an art to keeping the story arc alive without kind of just giving everything to everyone. And that's why I think episodes are so difficult, because if I just did one long 60-minute movie or 130 or whatever, and it was really good, I'd be like, great, I've done that. I can now move on to, I don't know, Red Dead Redemption. Let's go out to the middle of Australia and make one. But because I've got to keep going with the series, it's like each and every time you don't have to up the game, but you have to change the game. You have to. I got away with the prologue in the episode 1, and now we're into episode 2. And episode 2, as you can tell, is a much more exciting environment. you're the inside of an awesome apocalyptic barn. You're looking at different items. There's stuff that that happens in this that you haven't seen yet. And now the next episode is, as we were talking before, is like, right, what are we going to do to create that environment in a different location again? Maybe within the house, or what's going to happen in this environment. So it's all the ideas are fantastic. It's just being able to pick the right one for the right time, for the right money, for the right weather, for the right prop, this, that, and the other. So
I agree with a lot of comments. Yeah, sorry, Brody. I agree with a lot of comments in chat right now saying let the viewer paint the picture. I agree with that, but I'm saying at your stage, at your level, you're trying to promote this film. I think it's a good. I think you need to go above and beyond that to get yourself known. Thinking, holy shit, this is actually fucking brutal, and you'll have more success doing that than going through the more commercial route by getting a little bit more softer touch, painting the picture, as they say. I just think at this stage, if you want to get more viewers and you want to get more traction, maybe having a brutal scene is a decent thing to do at your stage to promote it. You know what I mean?
I don't agree. I think subtlety would be the better option, but that's just my personal taste.
Well, look, speaking of somebody that's owned a lot of businesses, I was just saying, I know it sounds crazy, but I honestly think you'll get more traction for people saying and looking, going, holy shit, this is actually fucking brutal. It's maybe too much for me, but it's going to sell your video than having all the rest and slowing it down a little bit and just being like more universal.
I see Lax's point here, because he's saying there's like the X factor that's going to put you against the other videos that may have been
exactly, because everybody's doing the softer factor. Everybody's going, oh well, let's not go too far.
Not saying the genre's been defined or that what you're doing is very, very individual. I see what Lax's point is here. I
totally agree as well with you, Bordy, that you can have a lot of tense, but not actually. There's been famous films out there by not even showing the actual murder. Famous films. Look at Psycho with the shower scene and all that. But I'm just saying, where he's at the moment, maybe a little controvery can't be bad,
all you got to handle for the next episode, guys.
I trust the guy who went to college for cinema versus the guy in the three-story man cave. How about that? I trust
Now
remember, I'm intoxicated right now. You've got to put these things into options.
You're Judd Kimmy, aren't you?
Now, folks, it is 12 o'clock, so we have to cut it there, Mr. Utah, because we've got an award show to do now. Thank you so much for coming on. You're welcome to hang around if you want and just chill. Not kicking you to the door, but we've got to move on. We've got people joining the channel now waiting to find out the winners of the various categories. Mate, I'm excited to see where you go with this. And you've had some great ideas, and we've managed to connect you with some good people who can, like in Clement Dab, can hook you up with those skins, so you can actually print out the items and rebadge them to make them look like the items in game. I agree with Lax on seeing someone killed with a can of peaches would be fucking amazing. Would just, and particularly if it's got the logos from the item in game, would be just.
It's almost like I have to do it now.
Don't listen to me, mate.
No, we'll keep on going with the way we're going, but yeah. So this actual episode 2 will be released within the next, I'd say, 2 weeks.
Awesome.
And then in the new year, we'll be coming in hot, planning the next one. And Lax, I may be coming to you for a bit of a nudge.
No worries. You've got my. Then we'll get those brains spattered all over the fucking place, eh?
At the very least, don't be afraid to use us as resources. We lean on each other all the time.
Sorry, say that again. I didn't hear.
At the very least, don't be afraid to use us as resources. We lean on each other all the time.
Exactly.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I do. Definitely appreciate it.
Don't be afraid to say, "Hey, man,
all the best, mate.
Send this over or whatever," because
hang around in this Discord. All of the people on the channel right now on the show and in chat are all in the Discord as well. You can post up. There's no, you can't. We're not going to have an issue if you post up saying, guys, Patreon's up. If you want to support us, I'll fucking share it when you do. Let us know. I'll share it. Daone will probably share it. Fucking Brim will probably share it. Lax will share it. We'll get the word out there because this is amazing stuff. Absolutely fucking amazing.
Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
All the best, man. We're rooting for you. No worries.
Well, good luck in the awards, and hope to be back soon. Maybe in the new year I can come back on with another episode.
You let us know.
Awesome.
Awesome. All the best, guys.
No worries. All the
Okay,
best.
mate.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.
Yeah.